While there are many extremely sophisticated attack methods utilized by threat actors, cloud storage bucket misconfigurations can create a wide range of unintended attack surfaces. The inherent vulnerabilities created through these misconfigurations may provide a framework consistent with the objectives of attackers, leading to privilege escalation and lateral movements within organizations. Perhaps this may be obvious, but a simple oversight for cloud storage buckets could lead to rather critical issues for exploitation. According to research conducted in 2023 by Qualsys Total Cloud Security Insights, cloud resource misconfiguration is the foremost concern for ensuring the security of cloud environments. 31% of S3 buckets are currently open to the public, which puts them at risk of various security vulnerabilities and the potential for subsequent attacks. Public S3 buckets can expose sensitive data and potentially put multiple services at risk. In this example, Amazon's S3 storage service accounts for a significant portion of the Internet's overall cloud storage. If sensitive data is stored publicly, this creates a direct entry point in which enumeration and reconnaissance can be conducted. Tenable's 2025 Cloud Security Risk Report shows that 9% of publicly accessible cloud storage services contain sensitive data. This exposes organizations to compliance violations, intellectual property theft, and customer data breaches. For example, credentials and backups may be stored in some cases by accidentally uploading configuration files, backups, or logs which contain them. This could turn a storage misconfiguration into a full-blown compromise. Additionally, weak identity management, cross-account exposure, and authentication controls may exacerbate the potential of these conditions. To display a realistic attack scenario, consider the following.
Snake, I did it!
You got past security?
Bingo!
Great. So what do you got?
I accessed the confidential Metal Gear file.
So what about the PAL override system that Baker talked about?
I haven't found it yet.
That's what I need to know.
But Snake, I found something else.
What?
A misconfigured cloud storage bucket. Reconnaissance is conducted with automated tools which scan for publicly accessible buckets. Initial access is gained by identifying a bucket with open read permissions, where files can freely be downloaded. Credentials or configuration files are identified, which can be exploited for use in privilege escalation. This information is used for lateral movement. Access is gained to key services such as compute instances or databases in which resources are enumerated. Data is exfiltrated, such as personally identifiable information or intellectual property. Further malicious activities may follow, including data modification or deletion, ransomware, or persistence mechanisms. Coincidentally, when it comes to cloud-based incident response, preparation may be the strongest control layer. The objective of preparation is to reduce the likelihood of control failure and improve the readiness of response mechanisms. Key controls include, but are not limited to, the principle of least privilege being enforced with meaningful identity access management policy, public access to cloud storage buckets, particularly those storing sensitive data, being blocked, multi-factor authentication for all privileged access being utilized, logging and monitoring object-level access. Our previous preparation helps determine the overall scope of detection and analysis, with meaningful identity access management policy and the principle of least privilege. Detection mechanisms can more readily identify abnormal access. In conjunction with preparation, detection mechanisms can pinpoint unusual IP access, large data transfers, and unauthorized API calls, while identifying which buckets were accessed what data is exposed, and which credentials are in use. This information can be used to contain threats and stop attacks immediately by revoking compromised and exposed credentials, blocking access to affected buckets, and disabling identity access management roles or users. Furthermore, this segmentation of resources prepares us for eradication. I believe this may be the most complicated step in the process, and I would highly recommend utilizing the MITRE ATT&CK framework for reference and more detailed information. During the eradication process, the overall objective is to eliminate reusable access paths and remove an attacker's footprint within the affected systems. Having precise and well-documented identity access management roles and policies will allow for a more thorough audit and thus a higher likelihood of discovering malicious files, backdoors, and/or persistence mechanisms. After containment and eradication has been accomplished, the objective is to restore into a secure operational state. Depending on the impact and severity of the scenario, this is certainly not a one-size-fits-all solution and will vary from case to case. This leads directly into a post-incident review, which is meant to prevent recurrence. During this entire process, any evidence gathered can be reviewed to help understand what went wrong and how it can be prevented in the future. As most incidents of this nature will occur from process gaps rather than technical limitations, it's possible to establish and improve new security baselines or implementations. While cloud computing has its advantages in speed, scalability, and availability, many of its risks are inherently structural properties. It's important to keep in mind that due to the simplified nature of accessibility, misconfigurations can more easily expose valuable assets to the internet.